Hey guys, welcome to Note Taking Part 2. Yesterday we worked on finding our animals' habitat and what they ate, so their diet. So we wrote down some notes. You could have added some more information. I'm probably going to figure out some more things to add about their habitat, exactly where they live. I did read that they like to live in kelp forests, so that's something else I would add. So you should have probably about 3 or 4 facts for each section. And here's a list of the food that they eat. So today we are working on these other 2 categories, what they look like and some interesting facts that we've learned. So we have our little anchor sheets that I've posted for you as well on Canvas to help us. So when we look for what it looks like, we want to look for things like their size, their color, their shape, if they have any special features. And special features means, do they have fur or skin or feathers? Do they have whiskers? Do they have a tail? Do they have wings? Do they have webbed feet? Things like that. What are their special features? What makes them unique to themselves? And then we're also going to be looking for some interesting facts. So how does it move? Does it have any enemies? What does its name mean? So things like that, or anything you might find super interesting about that animal that you want to share with someone else. All right, so we're going to get started, and here's our note paper. And we have 2 spots that we're going to write in. And remember, our notes are just short little phrases. They're not even sentences. Sometimes we use those bullet points that just keep, it's not a full sentence. It just helps us decide our information for when we write our formal paper. And you'll see what I mean by that as we go the next few days. So what I'm going to do is show you. I'm going to start today. This time we researched yesterday in different things. We looked at Discovery Ed. We looked at just Google searching our animal. Today I'm going to work in Epic a little bit. These are books for us to learn from. So I have already once before searched for sea otters. So if you searched in there yesterday for your animal, it'll come up here probably where it says recent searches, or you could just type it in there again. But I'm going to click on my sea otter search, and it's going to bring up my 10 books that I saw yesterday. And I'm just going to start to go through them. I might not find everything I need to know in one. You need multiple sources. Okay, that means you need multiple places that you're going to find information in, whether it's a website, a video, or books. And it's important when you're searching online to know what good sources are. So we did talk yesterday about National Geographic being a good source. Discovery Ed is a good source. We just want our facts to be true and useful. So here my book already has a table of contents. Here's some things I know that I'm going to learn about. Probably what they look like: floating and furry, water bodies, help for kelp, sea otter families, food, using tools, and help for sea otters. So even if I go through today in my research and I find more things about habitat or diet, I can always go back into my other notes and add more. So I'll just start reading. Floating and furry. What are those cute animals floating in the water? They are sea otters. Sea otters are mammals. They have fur and they breathe air. Well, that answered my one question. That they have fur. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. Sea otters have long bodies and they are good swimmers. Their back feet are webbed and a flat tail helps them steer. And down here in this bubble, it tells me sea otters weigh between 30 and 100 pounds. All of that is exciting to me because it's all treasure words. It's all good information. So I'm going to take my notes here and I'm going to add that to what it looks like. So it mentioned that they have long bodies. It mentioned that they were good swimmers, so I might add that down here to my interesting facts. They have webbed feet and a flat tail, which they said helps them steer in the water. That's kind of cool. And I also learned how big they get. They weigh between 30 and 100 pounds. 100 pounds? That is a big sea otter. Okay, so now I'm just going to keep going. Some sea otters live in kelp forests. Kelp forests are important places. Many kinds of animals live there. Sea otters keep kelp forests healthy. They eat animals that kill kelp. So this tells me a little bit about the kelp, but that's their habitat, right? So I did add that they live in kelp forests. So I can go back to my notes from yesterday if I wanted to. Male sea otters are called boars. Female sea otters are called saws or sows. A baby sea otter is called a pup. Sea otters gather in groups called rafts. I like that because we learned about collective nouns. Groups of sea otters are called rafts. So any of that important information or interesting facts, that's what you think is cool. So I could also add about the boars and the saws and the pup, what they're all called, but to me I liked learning that they're called rafts because I know that we learned about collective nouns for things, and that is pretty cool. I didn't know that for sea otters. Saws hold pups on their chest. They give them milk. Saws must leave their pups to hunt. The pups are okay. The fur makes them float. Fur helps them float. That's good to know about their fur. So I could keep going. Here's more about their food if I wanted to go back and look at their food and add some things. Sea otters sometimes use rocks to break open shells while they float on their back. They float on their backs. It's pretty cool that they use tools to help them eat, like a rock. So I could keep going, or if I'm tired of this book, I could get out of this and I'll go find another one. I'll go to the next one, sea otters. Maybe I'll find some more information here. Life in the water, food, pups, glossary. So if I was looking for food, I could turn right to page 14. And that's where I'll learn about food. Okay? So play around. Epic has a lot of great books to look for. And like I said, these with the purple, they'll read it to you, which is always nice. And they have some great videos we could also watch and get more information from. Okay, so have fun learning about your animal. Today you're looking for what they look like and some interesting facts that you find out. And you can write down as many things as you want. I would say a good 3 facts for each category would make a nice, well-rounded research paper in the end. Okay, guys? So have fun learning about your animal, and we'll meet back up for the next step.